really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
It started as just another weekend. Teyana Taylor had been juggling her usual whirlwind schedule, photo shoots, rehearsals, business meetings. But this weekend, she was also trying to manage something much more personal, time with her daughter and her partner, Aaron Pierre. For weeks, she had been hoping the two would connect, hoping the tension she'd felt between them would finally fade away. But something was brewing beneath the surface, something silent and sharp. And by the time Sunday afternoon rolled around, it would erupt in a way no one saw coming. According to sources close to the family, the weekend started off calm. Teyana had planned to spend time at home, then leave for a quick shoot while Aaron stayed behind with the kids. She had done this before. Trust wasn't the issue, at least not on her end. But this time felt different. Her eldest daughter had been quiet lately, more withdrawn, less playful. She wasn't rude, just distant. And Teyana noticed it, even if she didn't fully understand why. Aaron, on the other hand, had been trying. He wasn't naturally great with kids, but he'd been putting in effort, offering to help with homework, showing interest in their hobbies, making small talk. But it never quite clicked. The kids remained cold, especially the oldest one, who seemed to sense something deeper, something unspoken. She didn't trust him, and that feeling had only been growing. That afternoon, while Teyana was gone, the situation shifted. According to someone who claims to have been on a FaceTime call with the daughter earlier that day, things had been tense. Aaron had asked her to put her phone down and help clean up. She responded with a shrug. What followed was a sharp exchange. Aaron allegedly raised his voice. He didn't yell, but it was firm, the kind of tone a father might use. But Aaron wasn't her father, and that's exactly how she saw it. The daughter reportedly stormed off to her room, slammed the door, and stayed inside for nearly an hour. When she came out, she had a backpack on. Aaron asked where she was going, and she said nothing. Then just like that, she walked out. Not dramatically, not screaming, just walked out the front door and didn't look back. When Teyana came home and realized her daughter was gone, she panicked. She called everyone, friends, neighbors, even the school counselor. Hours passed. No one knew where she was. And then, finally, someone got a call from one of the girl's friends. She was safe, staying at their place, and didn't want to come home. Teyana broke down. She drove straight there. When she arrived, her daughter was sitting on the porch, arms crossed, eyes puffy. She didn't run into her mother's arms. She didn't even look up right away. But when she finally did, all she said was, "I don't want to be around him anymore." That moment crushed Teyana. She took her daughter home, kept her close, and put her to bed. Then she called Iman. According to insiders, Iman was livid. He had always been protective of his kids, but this crossed every line. Not only had his daughter been left alone long enough to disappear, but she had also been upset enough to leave in the first place. Iman didn't see this as a simple parenting misstep. He saw it as negligence. He reportedly yelled over the phone, demanded answers, asked Teyana how she could leave his daughter with a man who clearly didn't know how to handle her emotions. Teyana tried to explain. She said Aaron didn't mean any harm, that it had just been a tense moment. But Iman wasn't buying it. "You chose him over her," he reportedly said, "and now she's the one hurting." Those words stuck to Teyana's skin like glue. She didn't say much after that. She just hung up, sat in silence, and stared at the floor for what felt like hours. In the days that followed, the story leaked. Not all the details, just enough to ignite speculation. A few blogs posted cryptic captions about a young girl running away from a celebrity's home. Then came the Reddit threads, the Twitter whispers, the Instagram stories filled with vague clues and assumptions. Fans began piecing it together. Meanwhile, Iman took his daughter in for a few days. He posted a photo with her, smiling and eating pancakes with the caption, "Always got you." It wasn't shade, not directly, but the message was clear. Teyana stayed silent. She didn't post anything. No tweets. No stories. Not even a repost. Just silence. Aaron, too, disappeared. No interviews, no appearances. He'd been seen with Teyana just a few days before the incident, holding her hand, standing beside her at an event. But now, he was nowhere to be found. Some say he's been staying in a hotel. Others say he left town entirely. Friends close to Teyana say she's devastated, that she's questioning everything. The relationship, the timing, the choices she made trying to build a new life. She had wanted stability. She had wanted love. But what she ended up with was a fractured family dynamic and a daughter who no longer felt safe. And through it all, the hardest part for Teyana hasn't been the judgment from fans or the pain in Iman's voice. It's been the look in her daughter's eyes, the fear, the disappointment, the sadness. Because no mother wants to watch her child pull away. Sources say that Teyana has asked Aaron to take space, that she needs to focus on repairing her relationship with her children, and that Aaron, though hurt, understood. He's reportedly heartbroken, not just for himself, but for how everything turned out. He never wanted to be the villain. He just didn't know how to be the man those girls needed. Iman, on the other hand, is said to be exploring custody adjustments. Not out of spite, but out of concern. He wants to make sure his daughter is protected, emotionally, mentally, and physically. He reportedly told a friend, "This ain't about Teyana. It's about my baby, and I'll do whatever I need to do to keep her safe." For now, things seem calm. The house is quiet, the headlines have cooled down, and the online noise has started to fade. But the damage? It's still there. This wasn't just a little girl running away. It was a silent scream, years in the making. A buildup of ignored emotions, quiet dinners with no real conversation, invisible lines being crossed over and over again. It's easy to miss the signs until it explodes. This was never about rebellion. This was about a child carrying the emotional weight adults refuse to confront. Teyana's no stranger to chaos. She's handled messy breakups, industry pressure, and public betrayal like a warrior. But this broke something in her. This wasn't about her image, her relationship, or her career. This was her child. And that kind of pain doesn't care about fame or followers. At a recent fashion event, Teyana showed up looking flawless as always, styled to perfection. But her eyes? They looked tired. Not just sleepy, drained. Not just quiet, haunted. People noticed. The smile was forced. The glow was dimmed. You could tell she wasn't all the way there. Her daughter is back now, physically at least. But emotionally, there's space between them. Conversations feel cautious, like they're both afraid of saying the wrong thing. They laugh sometimes, but it fades quickly. Teyana's trying, though. She's been cutting back on appearances, saying no to events she'd normally headline, choosing instead to stay home and rebuild. She's asking deeper questions now, not just how was your day, but how are you really? And more importantly, she's actually listening. Still, there's guilt. Heavy, mother-shaped guilt that lingers even in her quietest moments. She wonders where it all went wrong, what she missed, what she could have done differently. Because when the cameras turn off and the followers stop commenting, all that's left is a woman trying to fix what fame almost broke. And every day, she's choosing presence over perfection, connection over image. Because nothing matters more now than making her daughter feel safe and seen. Because now she knows, no relationship, no matter how passionate or promising, is worth risking her child's peace. Teyana might still feel something for Aaron. Love doesn't just vanish overnight. Maybe she still sees glimpses of the man she once believed in. But that doesn't matter anymore. Not when it comes to her daughter. Being a mother isn't just a title, it's a vow. And this time, she's choosing her child, no hesitation, no second guessing. Iman, meanwhile, hasn't flinched. His focus has remained steady. Their daughter. He's been her anchor through the emotional chaos, making sure she feels heard, seen, and safe. He's not fighting for headlines. He's fighting for his little girl's heart. He knows the world can be loud, confusing, even cruel, but she won't face it alone. And Aaron? He's gone quiet. No grand gestures, no public statements. Maybe he's reflecting, or maybe he's just fading into the background. Whatever the reason, Teyana isn't chasing him. She's done forcing things to fit. If he comes back, it won't be on her terms. It'll be based on her daughter's peace. Because what they tried to build was rushed. And sometimes the cost of blending two lives is losing the one that matters most. In the end, no one came out of this unhurt. Not Teyana, not Iman, not Aaron, and definitely not the little girl at the center of it all. But maybe, just maybe, this moment forced everyone to pause, to rethink, to realign, and to remember that behind every blended family is a child just trying to feel safe, seen, and loved. And sometimes, the loudest cry for help is the one that walks out the door without saying a word.